What up, creeps? Welcome to the official episode 2 of CREEPSRUS. Today I am here with my fellow creeps, Mr. Dean and Mr. Zach. What up, fellas?
What's going on?
Thanks for having us.
Sorry for the delay. I've been working like crazy, so we're back though.
We are back. I had a few people. We just got done streaming Ox After Dark, and a few people were like, "Hey, hit me up when we all get back from the intermission." So we, sweet angels. We have a great group of guys that tune in.
Yeah, I sent the show along to my friends who like the creepy cheese man.
Shout out to all the creeps out there who enjoy the show so far. I know there's only been one episode, but work is starting to get a little bit better, so hopefully we're going to be on a little bit more of a better schedule.
Yeah, that's a fire episode, by the way.
Dude,
It
I
was
was
pretty
creeped out. I was creeped out.
Um,
Ben is back as well. What a guy.
What's up, Ben? So really quick, it probably won't be that long of a show, but we'll drag it out as much as we can, and we'll keep the creeps going. Today's topic, I want to know 2 to 3 things that creep you out. It doesn't have to be from a movie. It doesn't necessarily have to be real. Like, it can be an evil clown. It could be whatever. I just want to know 3 things that maybe when you watch a movie, you're like, nah, I can't watch this. Or in real life, something happens and you just get spooked. You get those goosebumps. Yeah. So anyone? I'll let you guys go first. Whoever wants to go.
Yeah, real quick. Ben in the chat says the occult creeps him out. He can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Should we do each of us says one at a time and kind of go in like a triangle? Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. If there is a video game that has a stalker in it, something that's roaming around just fucking looking for you, like Slender Man or like the Five Nights at Freddy's kind of thing,
or like Doom. I think Doom is like good when it has like you have like a light, that's on top of your gun, and you're like, you can only see what your light sees,
right?
Randomly you see like a ghoul come.
Yeah, any kind of stalker just gives me the heebie-jeebies, dude. Like, I can't stand it, dude, because really you're just kind of walking around, and then you'll turn a corner and they're there.
Dude, have you ever played Dead by Dawn?
Dead by Dawn.
Yeah, it's I believe I downloaded it for free on PlayStation Network. And like basically it's you and a group of people. And
that's
out of that group, one of them is a killer, so he's like searching for you.
Yeah, that's it's not Dead by Dawn.
It's not.
No, it's you're close. It's
Dead by Night. Something dead.
It's Dawn something. With the Wendigo.
Yes.
Is it Until Dawn?
Until Dawn. Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you're right about the Dawn part. Yeah, dude. Which is like the second thing that creeps me out, is a huge part of that game. Fucking just like something watching you. Like
that, like, I mean, obviously that's a video game, but like in real life, if something's watching you, you kind of just know.
You can feel it.
Like, oh shit, I just don't feel right.
Or like those like scary stories where it's like, oh, that's like a weird clown statue you have in your kid's room. I don't have a clown statue. Get out of the house. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god,
those like weird stories like that.
Yeah.
Or like people who have found like hidden compartments in their houses, and there's like food and shit in there, and they're like, we've literally never been here. Like someone's been living in this like attic or something, like, dude, while we were here. Like, yeah, so that creeps me out, dude.
I saw a video. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but basically there was I think it was a homeless man, and he was living in the people's like attic, and they had no idea. So they finally, food was going missing. or they were hearing noises, so they decided to set up the camera. And then sure enough, 3, 4 in the morning, this dude climbs out, a woman eats their food, goes right back up. Like, nah.
Yeah, dude, that fucking, oh my God. Like,
That's horrifying.
what do you call that? Like
uninvited guests?
Yeah, an uninvited guest. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, and they're just looking at you. So when you leave, they're like, okay, it's time to come out. It's like, nah.
Yeah, or like they watch you sleep. They just like stand there. Oh man, that creeps me out, dude.
That's terrifying.
Legitimately, at your most vulnerable.
Dude, there's I don't know if you guys have seen the first Paranormal Activity, but there's a scene where the girl gets out of bed and she literally walks around to her boyfriend's side and just stands there for hours.
And then it like
dude.
fast forwards the video and she's just back and forth.
And she's just like back and forth. And
yeah,
then she
fuck that, dude.
That's scary.
That.
Let me tell y'all, Paranormal Activity, the first one, even though there's not a lot of like physical like, yeah, there's not a lot of like, you don't see a lot of stuff, but like it's so real, it's so scary.
I agree.
Ooh. What about you, Zach?
So my first thing is I saw this video the other day, and I've always been creeped out by the ocean. Like,
really, the ocean?
We know more about like the moon than we do about the ocean. Like, in the depths, there could be anything.
Yeah,
and there's this video. It's on YouTube. I don't want to share it because it is like an actual copywritten YouTube video. It's by GoPro, or it's not by GoPro, but it's shot with a GoPro, and it won an award. But this guy is spearfishing, and he runs into a great white shark, and his GoPro's like tracking the shark. And this is like, like a pretty big shark, 15, 20 feet maybe. And as soon as that shark gets like more than 5 feet away from him, it just blends in perfectly with the water. And like, you can't see that this massive animal's in the water. And just the concept of being like in open water.
Oh my God, dude.
You don't know anything. Like, this is a massive animal 10 feet away from this guy, and he didn't even know. He kind of swam into it, basically.
That's scary.
Just being in the open water, even like in a beach, like I can't get anywhere past like, like my hip. Like anything deeper than that, nope. I can't do it.
Even when I'm at Six Flags, bro.
It's not really a thing about drowning. It's just, you don't know what's in there in the ocean. Like, and a lot of those things, like, humans are not, like, we can swim, but we're not really designed for the water.
Right.
And almost anything in that ocean can swim better and faster and be more aware of things than you. And Ben shares the same thing. And we know more about space than the deepest depths of our sea.
Deep ocean or deep space are equally terrifying.
Danny Lee says mad props to Aquaman.
Yeah, because not only that, but when I was younger, the movie Sphere really creeped me out. It's a Michael Crichton novel.
That's a creepy ass movie.
And it's set, the setting of this film is the bottom of this part of the ocean, not the bottom of the ocean, but this and it's just creepy. And it's funny because I used to be a marine biologist major in school, and I could rationalize that, like learning about the unknown, but
right.
Yeah, it's just scary. Like, I just can't. Even like lakes. Like, I don't even like to go into like water and lakes.
So lakes are almost creepier.
Yeah. To stay on that subject, when I was younger, my Theo Pete, shout out Theo Pete, he would take us to the lake, to Canyon Lake, going towards Bucky's, and like I just remember I would get in the water, dirty water, and then like your foot would like scrape against like seaweed or something, and it's like, ooh, like you don't know what it is.
Yeah,
that's scary. That's scary.
I don't play Subnautica. Someone said we should play Subnautica, but I watch PewDiePie play it, and it's fucking crazy.
What is Subnautica?
Subnautica, you crash land on a planet, and you're just all alone, and you have to survive, and so you like it's almost like Minecraft. You get supplies, and then you could build like shelter, and then you could build scuba gear, and like the more stuff you find, the deeper you can go, and the deeper you go, the better materials you could find and the bigger shit you could build.
So I don't know if this is the same thing, but there's a video on YouTube of, you guys know who he recently just passed, John Witherspoon from Friday, the dad, the the pops.
Love that guy. Love that guy.
So he has a video on YouTube. Well, they had a channel, him and his son, but he basically put on a VR set, and they sent him like down like in a tank, and like it has the light, so when he turns his head, like you can only see, and he sees a shark coming, and he's like this, like he's trying to punch the shark, dude. It's the funniest video, but like I could just imagine the fear that he was feeling.
Well, I saw a video recently, because Zach was talking about the great white, and I thought you were going to tell this story. Some people were fishing, and this like huge ass shark came to like poach their fucking their catch, right? Because it's on the line. It's near the surface, so the shark could see it really easily, and it can't get away. So the shark comes to get it and successfully takes their bait. But at the same time also just got hooked itself because it's now swallowed the fish.
Oh, and it's thrashing the boat.
Yeah, and they're kind of just like about to cut this big ass shark loose, and like something else comes out of nowhere and just fucking bites the shark in half. And they don't see it happen. They just kind of like see like the commotion. And they like pulled whatever's left on board, and they're like, the size of the animal required to bite this shark in twain is terrifying.
Well, this is real life?
Yeah, and we have no idea what it could have been. Like,
is it a recent video?
I believe so. I'll have to find it. It's like one of those, like, I've been on the depths of YouTube for hours. I'll try and find it right now.
All right. Manny, what's yours?
So for me, believe it or not, I am absolutely terrified of werewolves.
Oh, interesting.
I love watching, films with werewolves, like just because it adds to that feeling where it's like almost uncomfortable, but I'm just like, this is really cool and really scary. But like, so it's kind of embarrassing to say, but I cannot watch the Thriller video when it comes to that one part where he's walking in the woods or something, and then he starts transforming, and he's like, get away. It's like,
oh my god, man,
it's so scary, dude. Like every time we're going for a walk or something and it's like dark, I'll like just think in my head, like, what if we just saw someone transform, go from 5'10" to freaking 7'5"? That's terrifying to me. I don't know why. I don't know why it scares me so much.
You're not wrong. Yeah, the voice at the end of that music video creeps me out still.
Oh, Vincent Price.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude.
The narration.
I think it's in the Creeps intro. I think I put in the beginning.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So when you hear it.
One thing Manny just showed me a video, and like you could tell I was squirming in my fucking seat.
Dog soldiers.
I cannot watch hand torture.
Yeah.
Like fingers getting broken, stabbed, cut off. Like, oh my god, dude. I don't know what it is specifically about. I've never hurt my hand, knock on wood, but like just seeing it is so like guttural instinct, like traumatizing.
Yeah, like
I hate it.
I was just showing Dean the scene. Zach, have you ever seen Hush on Netflix?
No.
Oh my god. So really quick, going on what Dean said. The film is about a mute lady who lives in the middle. She just moves into the middle of nowhere.
Wait. Is she deaf? And the
guy?
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
And like the guy has a mask on.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. That's a good movie.
Yeah, there's a scene in that movie at the end
of the best, actually,
where she tries to she runs back inside and she drops her weapon and she tries to grab it and he slams the door on her hand and he just breaks all her bones, dude. And her hand is like
Yeah, he catches her hand in the door and then he steps on her fingers.
Sounds like you're damn getting chicken in a bag.
Oh
and
my
just,
god. Yeah, which made it even worse because you hear it the way she hears it. Oh my god, that was horrific, dude.
Dean, you got to watch that film. It is terrifying.
Okay, dude, one of my favorite aspects of movies is revenge, and horror movies usually have the best fucking revenge plots.
Yeah.
The movie The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, I love that movie.
Fucking hate that movie. But the last like 20 minutes where he just goes on a fucking rampage and fucks everyone's day up. Oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, and you said she gets pretty decent revenge, so I'll probably end up watching it.
Wait, you haven't seen Hush, Manny?
No, I've seen it. Dean hasn't.
Dean hasn't. Oh, that's a good
No,
movie.
Yeah,
Have y'all
like
seen the 127 Hours movie?
I have not.
Yeah, with
James Franco. It's a true story, Manny.
Oh
So
my
this
god,
guy,
dude.
he's hiking by himself, like in this kind of like desolate place, and he has an accident and he falls, and he's like rock climbing and he falls like in this chasm, and this like 800-pound rock falls on his hand. Or not falls on it, but like wedges his hand between like these two walls of this chasm and the rock. And the movie, it's a true story. Like, and the guy actually had a camera videotaping himself while it was happening.
So it's like first person or what?
Well, no, the movie is
it's like a real movie, but
it's
it
a real
shows
movie,
him.
but it's based on. If I remember correctly, it features clips from the movie, and the guy recorded the movie.
And
Like,
it does, yeah.
hey, I'm gonna die. Like, find this. If you find me, find my parents. This is their address, whatever. But he survived because he cut his own arm off with a multi-tool.
Oh my god!
And in the movie, it shows like very graphically how he does it.
Yeah, so the way he had to do it, he was trapped there for 127 hours. So how many days is that?
I think it was like 6-7 days.
Yeah.
And he has ran out of water at this point, obviously.
Yeah, he couldn't drink his urine anymore.
My god.
Because after you drink it over and over again, eventually your body will just take everything it can from it. So you won't even pee again. So he's run out of everything. And he was like,
for days he had been trying to chip the rock with the knife to like just get enough leverage to squeeze his arm out, and that wasn't working. And having your hand stuck like that, the circulation gets cut off, and so his hand had actually started rotting because there's no blood, there's no nutrients and oxygen going to that part of the body. And he took his knife and stuck it in his thumb, and it went in, and he didn't feel anything. But this like hissing sound started happening because his body was starting to create whatever.
Decompose.
And
yeah, there was like gases building up inside of his body.
Yeah, and he had tried, a number of things, and he realized like, hey, this knife won't cut through these bones. Like I can cut through everything but the bones. And so before he started, he had to break his ulna and his radius, the two bones in your arm, and he had to basically just leverage himself and just kind of throw himself against the chasm until they snapped. And then he cut, and he had to, while he's doing it with one hand, obviously. He had to create a tourniquet, and he had to sever his nerve bundle, and he said that was the worst part. And then he also had to preserve his arteries.
Fuck, when it gets to that moment in that movie,
the score is incredible.
Oh my god, dude, you like feel it in your goddamn bones, dude. Like
feel it in your sack.
Oh yeah, because he's cutting essentially rotten flesh, but he's trapped like maybe from like a little bit past the wrist, but he's got a cut up here because that's where he could reach. And so this nerve it's still functioning. It's down here that's dead, but he's got to cut it up here, and he's cutting all the rotten flesh, and then he gets to the nerve, dude. Oh my god, it's so hard to watch, dude.
Jesus Christ,
that's a good movie.
It is a really.
I
good
was
movie.
shocked at how good that movie was.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Hey, so really quick before we go to Zach, I just remembered about the werewolf. Have you guys ever seen Creep? I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, that movie's amazing. That movie's amazing. I heard the sequel sucks, but that movie is
Which one's
amazing.
Creep?
I wasn't a
Creep.
fan.
It's a movie. Oh, you weren't a fan?
No, I wasn't a fan of the second one, but
Oh,
it has a really high score on Rotten Tomatoes. So I might have to check it out again.
Yeah, so Creep is a movie about this guy. He finds an ad on Craigslist for someone who needs a videographer for the day. And he gets to the guy's house, and the guy explains, like, hey, I'm dying of terminal cancer. I have an
Mhm.
unborn child that I may never meet.
So he wants to just document.
Document a day in my life. I'll tell my kids some memories and, maybe give them some life advice. So the guy's like, sure. So throughout the day, this fucking dude is like just getting creepier and creepier and creepier.
Dude, yeah, like there's a scene where he's like, I want you to video me in the tub. And the guy's like, I'm getting money. Like, okay, and you're dying. I'm not going to tell you no. So there's a part where he slips into the water and like doesn't come out, and the dude's like recording him, basically like committing suicide, like you're drowning. And then he just comes up out of nowhere and he's like, gotcha. And it's like, okay, like I don't know you like that, but okay, I'm gonna record. So it's all like first person, like where he's recording like on the camera.
It's like a found footage thing, but it is a tale of a stalker. So Dean, I think you'd be fucking horrified by it.
Oh,
dude.
God.
Yeah, because the
is
guy,
terrifying.
It's a terrifying film.
One of the scariest I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a good movie, man. I'm so glad that I like that movie and you like that movie.
The reason why I brought that up was because there's a scene where it's not a spoiler because it's been out forever. If you haven't seen it, oh well. But just trust me, you got to watch it. There's a scene where the dude who's recording finally gets some sort of revenge, so he kind of drugs that dude's drink because he hides his keys, and he's like, oh, we'll look for him in the morning. Just go ahead and crash out here. And the dude's like, I don't want to crash out here. Like, it was only for the day. So he ends up drugging him and he knocks out. Well, he's like, I need to find my keys while he's knocked out. So he's looking for the keys. He goes outside, and then I think he comes back in, and where the dude was laying, he's not there anymore. So he's like, oh shit. Like, he's just like this with the camera, dude. And he goes downstairs. Well, as soon as he goes downstairs, this dude's wearing this big old wolf mask, and he's just standing at the door, and he's like that, and he's like, you're really scaring me. And he's just like this, like, and he's like, I don't know what he asked. He's like, are you gonna hurt me? And he's just like this. Dude, it is terrifying. Like, and he runs back up because he starts chasing him. So scary.
Jeez.
Ending, I had no idea. I had no idea where it was going, and it completely threw me off.
Really?
Yeah. So
did you ever get a chance to watch Mandy?
with Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
I did not.
Dude. That movie, again, that's one of those movies that's like, I wouldn't call it horror in the sense of like a slasher.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely horror, maybe like thriller horror.
Okay.
Basically, Nick Cage lives with his wife in the mountains, and she works at like, I don't know, like a little convenience store in the mountains for people that live up there. And while she's walking home one day, this like group of fucking cult transient people see her, and the cult leader's like, I want her like to be mine.
Oh, no.
And so they like fucking like follow her home. And so it's like one of those things where she just gets like ambushed by a bunch of people. Some things happen. and then Nick Cage goes on this fucking rampage that's like so beautiful.
I bet.
But I've never seen anything like that, like to this day. And I told you when I saw it, I don't know if you'll remember because you thought I was weird for saying it. I was like, it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen, but I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like this fucking weird fever dream, and it's so creepy, and the fucking score is amazing.
I need to watch this.
Holy shit! It's
Um,
on. I want to say it's on Shutter.
Okay.
If you have Amazon,
Yeah, I think I have Shutter. I'm gonna make some
check
time to
and see
watch
if
it.
it's on there because I saw it today when I was on Amazon,
Mhm.
but I don't know if it was on the Shutter tab or if it was just like rent to buy.
Okay.
I want to say it was on the Shutter tab because we were watching that horror movie with the one room,
Oh yeah.
one bedroom.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, that movie gives me the fucking creeps, and because it's like, you know what? It also shares the same theme in the one bedroom movie of like a fucking cult, and everyone has their fucking brains washed, and you're sympathizing with the main character because they're stuck now,
Yeah.
and it's like no one's fucking notices how fucking crazy this is. Like, oh god, that creeps me out too.
Jesus.
That was a cool movie though. One bedroom, but it's
One bedroom.
one like the number one and then BR.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, that was a cool fucking movie.
Zach, what about you? What's another thing that?
So the next thing that creeps me out is the concept of aliens.
Okay.
I think we talked about this episode 1, but I am a firm believer that we are not alone in this cosmos. Just seeing how, I know when we recorded that episode, it was day 0 of the quarantine, like we had just started.
Right.
But seeing how fucking awful people have been with this coronavirus, I cannot imagine the fucking furor that would happen if a fucking craft showed up out of nowhere. Just
Dude,
seeing the way,
you're not kidding.
yeah, just seeing how people are acting from being fucking told to stay at home for fucking 3-4 weeks.
It's really funny you bring this up. Because I told you earlier, I watched the movie Arrival.
Yes.
Which in terms of an alien movie,
I think it's a very realistic take on
it's
that.
a pretty tame alien movie because they're not here to hurt us.
Yeah.
But holy shit, if you're paying attention to the TVs in the background of like every scene, humanity has lost their fucking collective mind. And they're like looting and shit. And my sister was like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with these people?" I was like, "Look at the shit that's happening now." And Corona was a slow going thing. I was like, these aliens just showed up 2 days ago. And all of a sudden it was like lockdown.
Yeah, going back to the alien thing, but I mean, it's just something that's unknown. And I mean, you think of how many planets are in our galaxy, and then how many of those planets have are the stars rather? How many stars are in our galaxy, and how many of those stars have planets and moons? And I just don't think that it's possible that the odds, exist such that we would never encounter one of those things at some point. And there's this I don't know exactly what you call it. It's like a theory or something, but it basically says like if you had an infinite number of monkeys and you gave them a keyboard, eventually one monkey would randomly type out a Shakespearean play.
Right.
The concept of like inevitability.
Okay.
And that it kind of relates to like finding extraterrestrials, like, the inevitability of like one other planet having the perfect storm of things to happen to create life. And a lot of the way that we look for life in our solar system is like based on water, but I mean it's entirely possible. And I think M. Night Shyamalan explained it or explored it, at least in signs, that hey, there might be creatures out there that don't like function anywhere near how we function.
Right.
They might like be water might be toxic to them. And so, we've only been sweeping the galaxy for things that fit our idea of a living organism. And I just think that there's been enough stories of people that have been abducted, and there's been enough evidence. And I watched a lot of Ancient Aliens. I think it's a really great show. And
we talked about that one last time, right? On the last
about
episode?
Ancient Aliens.
No, about the movie with the guy that gets abducted.
Fire in the Sky. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you watch it or?
I've only ever seen that one fucking scene, and it's so terrifying. I don't think I want to watch it.
Yeah, Danny Lee says, "I'm only afraid of ghosts. Everything else, monsters, aliens, psycho killers, you have a fighting chance, at least physically. Ghosts, you can't do anything unless you have a proton pack."
Dude, you're not wrong.
Ghosts.
100%. You are not wrong.
Yeah, but aliens, I don't know, man. it just creeps me out. And I know like the government re-released, I mean it had already been released, but the footage of different fighter craft pilots encountering
Oh, yeah.
UFOs. And
Dude,
I mean,
I
if these
saw-
motherfuckers are freaking out and they're used to fucking flying supersonic jets against other supersonic jets, like it's got to tell you something. And
I saw a funny ass
I know
tweet.
Bob Lazar with the Element 131 and those different things.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just all just very creepy.
yeah.
Mhm.
I saw a funny ass tweet and it was like 2020 is so fucking wild that the government admits aliens exist and no one cares.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah, well, you're also not wrong.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I
Aliens
listened to a lot of podcasts about aliens and stuff and unexplained phenomenon. And yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
Did you guys ever play that video game, Alien versus Human?
Destroy
Or
All Humans.
yes, that one.
No.
I played it briefly. Ben says Bob Lazar freaked me out on Joe Rogan Experience. Yeah, I got to watch that episode. But
Well, he was on Joe Rogan?
Bob Lazar's fucking wild.
I didn't see that. I didn't even know he was still alive.
Manny, what about you? What was something that creeps you out?
Okay, so this is more. How can I say it? Like, I don't think it can happen, but if it does happen, that's really spooky. Elongated mouths. That terrifies me, bro. Um, there's a movie called Ouija. I think it's Ouija Origins with one of the main characters. Her name is Lulu Wilson. She comes out in a lot of horror films. She's young, but there's a bunch of scenes where her mouth is just literally like long and like the bottom of the chin is like right here, and like there's the eyes are white. So even talking about it gives me goosebumps. There's a lot of it in that movie, dude, and it's terrifying. I don't know why. Another example I can think of is it's kind of silly, but I think no, it's in The Ring. I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Ring, but when they like see the video, and then when people find them dead, they'll like turn the chair or whatever, and like their mouths are just like like crooked. It's terrifying. Like
Yeah.
that's so scary to me.
Yeah, because it's
Like a mouth is not
so
supposed to look like that.
inhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I just saw that too somewhere. I can't remember what it was I was looking at, but sometimes it's such a subtle thing
Mhm.
because it's not always like like the fucking predator, but it's just off enough that you're like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like,
Yeah.
this creeps me the fuck out, and then you like really pay attention, like, oh god.
So there's a movie called Fright Night, came out in 1985, and there's a lady on there who at the end she turns into a vampire and she has a big mouth. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it for you.
Oh, is that the one where she turns that kid into a rat?
That's Harry Potter. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a
Yeah.
terrifying scene.
This one
I don't
right
know what movie that is. Oh god.
That is so. I saw this at my grandparents' house again. So just look up Fright Night 1985 Vampire Lady. I saw this with my grandparents when I was like 6 again because they showed me everything. So I remember the scene where the guy walks into this room and the lady is just like in the corner, like kind of like rocking back and forth, like crying. And he goes up to her. He's like, "Are you okay?" She just turns around like that. It's like,
Dude, I fucking hate that shit in movies, dude. Where it's like walking up to someone that's not facing the camera and like slowly like grabbing their shoulder and then whipping them around. I fucking hate that in movies.
dude, now
It
that you
gets me every time. I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen.
yeah.
And it still fucking creeps me out.
Dude, now that you say that, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Grudge. Well, there's a
The
scene.
original one or the
No, I think it's by like Sam Raimi or something.
Hang on, Manny, 1 second. I think Eric is joining us for CREEPSRUS.
what?
Eric.
Eric, my child, can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
God damn it, Eric.
Eric, are you there?
Let's see if he's texted anything to the chat.
Yo, good.
Oh no.
Hey,
Hey,
Eric, can you hear us?
sounds like he's streaming.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Oh, there you go. What
Are
up,
you
Eric?
high? Oh my god. Gerald says, "Yo, Manny, I found a
No,
Kyle."
it's just the.
What?
It's all that
Oh,
cheap
go ahead.
beer.
My bad. No, go ahead. My bad.
No, but he's on a
What
a
were you
10-minute delay.
Why are you on such a delay, Eric? What the hell?
The Wi-Fi over here sucks ass. I'm at
No,
work.
but your time
Oh, he's
zone-
at work. He's at work. What a guy.
Oh, okay.
Eric, if you want, we can let you go. We can have you when you're back at your home Wi-Fi at some point.
When's the next show?
Next year.
Nah, we do shows like several times a week.
Yeah, well, I'll make it a point to hop on this week.
Usually I'm off like Mondays and Tuesdays. That's the thing, though.
You can do another Creeps on Monday, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll
All
work
right,
something.
for sure.
get you
All
on
right.
CW.
Catch you on the flippity flop, or you can come on CW.
All right, cool.
Love
All right,
you.
bye.
All right, bye.
Sweet angel.
Yo, 450 for Kylo? Hell no.
No, it's
Wait,
450
that's
AUD.
Australian.
Oh,
What is that in American?
Let's look it up. All right, so
430.
Manny, I'm sorry. It's 288. It's 450 AUD. It's
Oh,
288.
that's not bad.
That's not bad. It's pretty good.
Ooh, Gerald, send Manny the details.
Yeah, DM me. So going back to the Grudge, there's a scene where it's this dude, he works with this lady, and like it shows the relationship early, and then the film eventually a lot of stuff happens. Well, she returned to her work. I don't know why. I don't remember. And the dude, he's leaving. I think it's Sam Raimi's brother. He also comes out in Spider-Man 2. He calls out to her. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing here? You know, it's already late. Like, I leave super late. Why are you here?" And she kind of just like stands there. It's the camera's to her back, and what do you call it? She finally just turns around, and the camera, if I remember correctly, the camera follows her as she's turning around, so you don't see her face.
Oh, you just see his reaction?
Yeah, he's like, and his reaction's like, "Ah!" And like the camera shows her, and her jaw's missing, her tongue flies out. Terrifying scene.
Jeez. And it's actually her. It's like a ghost.
No, it's her. The
Oh,
ghost.
shit.
Manny,
ripped her
Manny,
mouth.
I tagged you in a post real quick. Check it out on OSR BST. I think that might be interesting for you.
Yeah, I had a friend, shout out Steph. I don't know if she's listening, but she was like, "Hey, I watched this crazy Japanese movie." I was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Yeah, it was a horror movie." She's like, "I don't want to give anything away." I was like, "Does everyone die?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, the fucking ghost always wins in Japanese culture. Like in Western culture, it's like you can put your mind to whatever and achieve your goals or whatever." Oh God.
That's the scene
Horrifying.
from the Ouija Origins. I'm trying to find the other one.
But in like Japanese culture, like it's like that's the end all be all is like these fucking demons. Like they're coming to get you and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. So I was like, oh yeah, just like that's how Japanese movies are. The Ring, Grudge, what's the one with that weird phone? The ringtone?
Oh, one missed call or something.
Yeah. All those are based on like the Japanese movies, and the American ones. Oh God, ew.
Yeah.
In the American ones, usually they find a way to survive or something.
Uh-huh.
Holy shit. In the Japanese ones, no, everyone just fucking dies.
Everyone just dies. I better clear my feed really quick. Hold on. Ooh, this is scary.
Ew.
Like,
Dude, you know what fucking creeps me out? That weird meme thing that was going around.
Oh yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
With the bird girl. What was her name?
I'll pull it up real quick.
dude.
Yeah, it was where people were inserting it inside of like random kids videos.
Yeah, it was really just like a sculpture.
Momo.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Dude. Big eyes creep me the fuck out, dude.
Dude,
Like
there's
big... big beady little eyes and like fucking creepy ass smiles.
There's a GIF
Can't handle it.
that I see every now and then, and it literally gives me chills
A
every time.
GIF?
Yeah, it's a GIF of this lady. It's like a hallway, and she's like this lady, and she's kind of like moving like that, and like the view is from the person that's standing at the end of the hallway, and like all of a sudden this thing just runs towards her, and it's like,
Ew.
I want to see if I don't know if I can find it.
Wait, and with the lights on and off?
No, that's Lights Out. The
Oh,
short
I
film
just
on
meant
YouTube.
like the GIF of like the lady that's like looking down the hallway, and she like turns off the lights, and you could like see
Oh, no,
someone standing
the
there. You
shadow.
turn it on.
Yeah, no, that's Lights Out. I believe it's like a 5-minute film on
Dude,
YouTube.
fuck that too.
That one's good. And then at the end, like the faces right above her bed.
Dude, I've been on TikTok, and there's people who will like put, and like I don't know how many of these are staged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people that just want to get famous or popular.
Dean, I found it. I'm so scared.
Let me see it. Oh, look, Steph is there.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I got tears in my eyes.
Oh God. Oh, it's fast.
Yeah.
Yo, 100%. I'm not outrunning that thing. I'm going full fucking fists, dude. Of
I'll
course,
probably
I
get
stay
about
strapped when I'm
two.
at home. I have my gun.
Will literally fall to the floor and probably go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah. What was it talking about? Oh, okay. So on TikTok, and there was this video. I can see if I can find it and send it to you. But this dude's doing like a dance at home, and then like there's just like a face on the stairs that's like fucking looking at him from.
I've seen that. I've seen
the
that.
only thing that really like throws me off about it is the caption of the video is like, I'm home all alone and decided to work on this dance. And it's like, that's a little too convenient, you know what I mean? That you caption that you're home alone and then all of a sudden.
Is that the one where it's the ghost or whatever is behind the dresser?
No.
Or no? Okay, then I saw.
Wait, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Well, like I said, there's a lot of TikToks like that. So it's like, how many are staged? How many are legit? I have also just like stumbled across a lot of like horror TikTok accounts that just cover like scary stuff, but like 9 times out of 10, like while they're telling the story, they'll just throw in a jump scare and that's it. Like, oh, that was the point of this video. Fuck you.
The one that I saw was there was a guy laying on the bed, and then he's just like laying down, but what throws me off is the angle is so like you could tell it's fake because he's making it a point to show behind him, and then you see the little face, and then it goes away, and then the camera goes behind the dresser, and obviously no one can fit there, but like doing like showing that, and it's like me recording like,
right,
hi guys,
like what are the odds?
I just watched that video and it just looks like a cat isn't like peeking its head.
It's creepy looking, but it's also, you know, distorted videos. It's like, is it actually creepy? But it's funny you bring up a cat because I have this one. I have it saved. I know I have it saved. I just saw it. This girl is like talking, and like as she's talking, something moves behind her, and she gets like visibly scared.
Really?
And then she starts recording a second part of it. And she's like, guys, I don't know what the fuck that was. And she starts talking again. And then while she's doing it, you see it again. And as an audience, you're just like, holy shit, she didn't even just notice it right now. And then it cuts and she's laughing. She's like, guys, it was my fucking cat. And like the cat's on the couch behind her. But when you watch the video, you could tell that she's just catching it at these very like it
time.
just and it looks creepy, but And then once you figure out it's a cat, you're like, oh my god, I can see it. It's so funny.
So for me, like obviously you guys know I live horror. Like I love anything horror. Like I love to watch, people's heads get cut off, especially when it's that sounds wrong for me to say that,
He
especially when it's
doesn't
a
like
little kid.
real horror.
Yes. Okay.
He
So
doesn't look for car accident videos online. He just
dude,
enjoys movies.
look, our minds are connecting.
Yeah.
So when someone on Facebook shares something really like gruesome, I have no problem deleting you. Like I don't want to see that.
Yeah, dude, that
So
pisses me off when people try to trick me into
I don't know
watching
if
like someone kill themselves.
I don't know if I ever told you guys, but one time it caught me off guard. Um, I was just casually on Facebook. This was a couple years ago, and then someone put, "Oh my God, look how cute this is!" So I clicked on it, and it started off as a regular video, like a cute dog or something, and it ended with a lady. She had just been in a rollover or something. Dude, her jaw was halfway hanging off. This was real. Like her eyeball was like popped out, but like still hang. I was terrified. I turned off my phone. I thought about my life and I was like, dude, I was terrified to go back in there and open my Facebook app. So I did it really quick. I saw the video again. I like quickly saw who did it, clicked on their name, deleted them. No problem. But that scared me, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a friend who like lives for that shit. Like
The thing that bothers me about that stuff on Facebook is like just the last one I saw, I guess it was like a Mexican gang like murder. Like these guys straight up walked up to this dude like in a Burger King and like shot him like 8 times in the face
Yeah.
and then walked out, and like his wife and his kid are just there like screaming. But it's like that video has like 100,000 shares, like 3 million comments, and it's still up there. And then fucking Greg posts a GIF of a dude hopping into a bed on a private Facebook group and then gets banned for like 2 days.
Yeah, it's fucking it's the Wild West,
weird.
man.
Danny Lee, I don't know if y'all saw this comment. It said the baby Yoda just moved behind Zach.
Dude, don't fucking say that.
Yeah,
Danny Lee said my display looks really good on his TV. So
Jason
shout out
said,
to the 9 people watching at like 1 a.m.
why aren't you guys looking over your shoulders right now? I got Kevin with me, so if Kevin's fine running around playing, I got nothing to worry about.
Well, y'all know my place is
I
haunted.
also have my gun.
Every time y'all come over, something happens.
Dude, that was scary.
That's true.
What's whose turn is it? Who's for the next scary thing?
Really quick before we move on, while we're on the topic of my place. So for those that don't know, my mom passed away in 2014, and my little sister, she comes over every now and then, and every time she comes over, this is not really scary because I think it's my mom, but every time she comes over, something happens. So
Like what?
So the first time she ever came over to our place, it was just me. Marissa hadn't moved in yet. It was just me. And a couple years before my mom passed away, me and Marissa and I went to Disney, and I got her a snow globe. I think I have it. I'm afraid to move it though. It's a Mickey Mouse snow globe, and I had just put everything in the closet because I wasn't. Dean saw my place when I had like nothing in here. So I had that snow globe in our closet, and randomly my sister comes over and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take a shower." I'm like, "Cool." And she's in the closet, putting her stuff away, and she's like, "Hey, you still have this snow globe?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna throw it away. Like that's mom's. Like, yeah." So she's like, "Do you mind if I put it up on the shelf?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." She's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna take a quick shower and then I'll put it up." I'm like, "Okay." Well, I'm laying down because I have work the next day, and I hear my sister turn off the water, and she's like, "Manuel, is that you?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, I think I had the headphones on. I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Did you play that? Listen." So like the thing was playing the little winding thing at the end, at the bottom. Someone put it on, and it was going, dude. It was like ding, 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 ding. I was like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "I swear to God, I did not move it." And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "It's fine. Like, it's fine. Things happen." So it turned off. Maybe an hour passes, and she's like, "Okay, so I'm gonna put that up. I'm gonna reorganize your stuff." So okay. So she puts it up. Nothing happens. Maybe 30 minutes go by. I think we're watching TV in my room because she's creeped out. All of a sudden, again, ding, ding, ding. And we're just like, oh my God. So I haven't heard that thing move. That's why I'm like, I don't want to move it because it's probably going to start making noise again.
It's creepy.
The second thing that happened was I had just installed some color LED lights on my Bluetooth.
Mhm.
These lights went from green to blue to red, whatever. Well, I was in my room mixing, and my sister was over again, and she comes with her eyes watery. She comes to me. She's like, Manuel, stop. And I'm like, what? So I was recording a mix. I had to stop it. I was like, what? Like, annoyed. I was like, what's wrong? She goes, look. So we went to the living room. The DTOF, the remote, I usually turn the lights on and I put the remote on top of the DTOF. The DTOF, I swear to God, was going from every color, like blinking, like in a rotation. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, Annabelle, the remote's on top of the thing. How am I supposed to do it? How am I doing it? So I got the remote, I turned it off. That had never happened before.
That's wild.
Yeah. So every time she comes over, something moves. I think it's my mom trying to talk to us.
It's a nice story.
Jeez.
My mom said that when she first moved into or when we first moved into my parents' house, the first night that they were there, that she saw a ghost. Like when she woke up, it was like over her face, and then she said she felt like very calm when she saw that ghost,
Mm-hmm.
and like the way she described it was like a protector, like wanted to make sure our family was safe, and
Mm-hmm.
she went into the attic, like she saw it kind of like go into the ceiling, and like she just said she never seen it ever since. But my mom's not really the kind of person to like make up
Yeah.
fabulous
Yeah.
stuff like that, and she had never told us. It was like maybe like 2 years ago, we were just kind of just talking about like just horror stories or whatever, and yeah, that just kind of came up. I was like, wow, that's wild.
Yeah. My mom's had a few interesting things happen. Um, my, I was really young, so this is maybe like 91, maybe 1990. So I was just a few years old. My grandpa passed away. My mom's dad, he had cancer and he was on life support. And my mom is the only child, and her mom had passed away when she was like 14. So she was the only person that could give consent to take him off life support.
Mm-hmm.
And she did it, and she felt obviously terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And she said for like days and days and days, she was just like crying and couldn't sleep and having nightmares. And like, she just felt so guilty. And she said, and then one day he came to me in my dream and was like, hey, I'm
Dude.
okay. Like, you don't need to worry about me.
Oh my God.
Like,
You made me
you
cry.
did the right thing. Like, I'm not suffering anymore. And she's like, and from then on, she's like, I never had problems sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
She's like,
Damn.
it was like the most comforting thing that ever happened. And I was like, that's fucking
Dude.
wild.
So when my mom passed away, we were Marissa, her sister, and I were on our way to oh my gosh, what was it? Where did they have Mardi Gras?
Louisiana, New Orleans.
New Orleans. We're on our way to New Orleans, and we had stopped at some city in Louisiana before New Orleans, and that's when I got the call that my mom was on her deathbed. Worst day of my life. Like,
Jesus.
yeah. So we quickly, dude. I get up. They're like, they asked me like, "Are you okay to drive?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just want to get to my mom." Dude, I'm going 90, 95 on the highway trying to get to San Antonio from Louisiana. Well,
Yeah.
we're in Houston, and Houston's a big ass city. So right in the
Houston
middle,
traffic sucks.
dude, right in the middle of Houston, I get that phone call that no one ever wants to get.
Yeah.
So she unfortunately passed away, and then maybe like a week later, I remember I was sleeping, and it felt so real. Like I can't explain it, but I remember my mom coming to me because I didn't get to tell her goodbye. Like she passed away when I was on the road. So
Dude, I just had like this thing go off in my house and it scared the shit out of me. I don't know if you saw me jump.
I didn't.
Oh man. Okay, I'm
No,
sorry. I didn't mean to
that's
interrupt that
okay.
story.
That's all right.
Jesus, I had to lighten the.
So,
Oh my
what do you call
gosh,
it?
scared creeps.
So, I didn't get to tell her goodbye. And dude, the dream that I had, she came to me, and this felt so real. She sits at the corner of the bed, and we have a little conversation. And she basically says, like, "It's okay. Like, I'm always gonna be with you, dude." I was crying in my dream, and I hugged her. Dude, I hugged her so tight, and I think I woke up and I was sitting up, and I was crying, dude. I was like, "Oh, it felt so good to have that closure." But
Yeah.
what Dean said, like 100%, I believe that. And then in the comments, Scott said that his cousin had stuff like that happen to him after his dad passed away. So,
Dude, on YouTube, have you ever listened to our Ask Reddit?
no.
It's they're usually just accounts where people ask Reddit questions like, "Hey, people who have like survived a traumatic experience, what was it?" Or, "Hey, what's like a funny story of you quitting a job or something?" And then on the YouTube, it's just like a computer reading the transcript of people's comments. Well, a lot of them are, "What's like a supernatural story that you have?" And there's some fucking crazy stories, dude. One of them that sticks out to me, God, did I tell this on the last episode? Maybe I did.
Is that the one where the lights went off?
No, it was like a group, it was like a family reunion kind of thing at like a lake house.
Is it where everyone died in the car accident?
No, that was my sister-in-law. That's the first story.
Oh, okay.
This is just from the internet, so I have no idea if it's real, but it creeped me the fuck out. Everyone is like, it's a family reunion, so people are just like asleep in like this lake house or whatever, and there's like girls in one room, boys in the other, like they're all just like hanging out. And this person said, "I had a really vivid dream of my cousin asking me to help him. Like he came to wake me up and was like, 'Hey, I need help. Please come help me.'" And so she's kind of like in between sleeping and waking up. And she was like, "It just felt so real that I had to get up out of my bed and go check on him. And when I got to him, he was having some weird allergic reaction in his sleep, and he was like suffocating. But he like,
What the hell?
he couldn't, for some reason, like he couldn't, because I guess he was fucking suffocating, so he couldn't call out for help. And like she just happened to like have this weird dream of him calling for help to her specifically, and she went to go check on him, and he legitimately needed help. He was dying, and like they saved him in the nick of time. They were able to get like the ambulance down there. It was just fucking wild. Like, holy shit, what are the odds? They're like paranormal, like unexplainable shit.
That's the kukui.
You have kukui stories?
I do. Anything else creep you guys out?
I think the last one was mine. Are you guys good? I have one more.
I have one more.
Go ahead, Manny.
So another thing that really creeps me out is crawling on the ceiling.
Oh God,
dude! Like if I saw someone right there, I'll leave.
Like train spotting?
Yeah.
With
Or
the baby?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, fuck that.
That movie Ouija Origins, by Longmouth. There's a scene where the damn little girl has her mouth open, eyes are white, and she's crawling on the ceiling. terrifying.
You know what I'm just not afraid of?
Mm.
Kids. I take shit bigger than kids. I will fuck a kid up if they come at me.
There has
I
to be
don't,
one.
I don't
big
care if it's the son of Satan. I will fuck that kid up. I'm just not afraid of kids. They don't scare me. Like that movie that came out.
Oh,
Wait.
Oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about. Um, the one with, like Superman, but he's bad.
Yeah, he's like the superhero kid.
What is it called? Brightburn.
Brightburn. I'll fuck that kid up. I don't care if he has superpowers. I will stop his fist midair and just beat the shit out of him.
I will say I did watch Brightburn, and I haven't rated it because I don't know how I felt about it.
Was it good? Like, did you hate it? Did you?
The kills on the film are cool. The overall story it's not
weak?
good.
No.
It's just not good.
Hmm.
I don't recommend it.
What you got, Zack Attack?
Ooh.
So
Did you turn it off and on again? There's someone behind you.
Oh,
dude.
or my face changes for a second,
Yeah.
and like I say some code.
Ian is in the chat. Ian, you're welcome to join us if you're up. He says, circus folk scare me. Tiny hands smell of cabbage. Good old Austin Powers reference.
Oh, I was like, that is a very specific set of things.
Mine, I think we talked about this on Ox After Dark last week, maybe, or a few days ago, but the concept of like AI overtaking humanity. I think that for a 1980s movie, Terminator is mind blowing. The concept of a weapons defense like system taking over,
becoming
and
self-aware.
just how on Mysterious Universe, they've had some interviews with people that work in the tech sector. And for a while, like these private companies were making these crazy AIs. And it wasn't until they all sort of agreed on certain standards of what they should and shouldn't be able to have these machines do that the guy was saying, like, for a while, there was just the Wild West. Like people could fucking make their AIs do anything and learn anything. And they had to kind of dial it back as a
in fact, Facebook had one of their learning AI. I believe they made 2 of them.
What's Zach looking at?
Baby Yoda, sweet angel. I'm scared, so I'm just looking at for comfort.
And they had these 2 AI conversing with each other, like to learn language, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And after like a few days, they created their own language, and they ended up stopping the program. And they're like, we have no idea what they were talking about. We cannot decipher their language. So they like pulled the plug on. They're like, fuck that.
Yo,
and that was like last year.
Have you guys seen that Black Mirror episode, Be Right Back, with Haley Atwell, my boo?
No.
So it's basically Haley Atwell, who plays that chick in Captain America, his love, and it also has General Hux. Huh?
Oh, Ex Machina?
Is that his name?
Yeah, Ex Machina.
Is that the movie you're
That's
talking
what Ben
about?
put in the comments. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, what do you call it? So it's this couple, and then he goes out. I don't remember what he goes out for, but he ends up dying in a car accident, and she just
not Ex Machina.
No, it's called Be Right Back. It's on Netflix. It's a part of Black Mirror.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
And he basically she can't cope with her husband dying, so she looks up on the internet, and basically someone offers her like a I don't know if you would say like a virtual
lobotomy,
like, coping system, So basically takes all of their social media, all of their voicemails or whatever, and like kind of creates like a VR, if that's the right word, of her husband. So she's able to say, type hello, and then it replies in his voice, hello. And it gets so creepy because like it gets to the point where she has to like throw the computer away or something, and it's just like Like he's like, I'm real. Like this is me. And it's like no. And then she ends up getting like a doll. They deliver a doll, so like she like puts him in the bathtub, and it's creepy, dude.
That reminds me of this podcast I listened to. Fuck, what was the name of it? It was fantastic. It was
Collecting
almost,
Weekly.
it was yeah, I was collecting weekly. No, it's almost the same concept. This dude's wife dies, and he's obsessed with listening to like her voicemails and stuff, and like audio recordings of her.
Is that with Michael Keaton? Oh wait, that's
No, it's a podcast.
Okay.
It's like a narrated book, basically. And one day, the audio recording starts talking to him, and it's like, "Hey, like, it's me. Like, I can't really explain anything, but like I need you to like do exactly what I tell you to do." And so the voice of his wife is like having him spy on this company that he works for, and he doesn't like really understand like why she needs him to do it, but he's doing it anyway, right? Like he's so fucking beyond like sad, and his wife is talking to him through like this fucking audio device.
Jesus.
And
This sounds familiar.
I don't.
What movie is this?
It's not. It's a podcast.
Oh,
Let me see if I can find. I know I have it on my list. And so the further he digs, the company ends up like figuring it out. Like, hey man, like you're doing some fucking spying shit, but we need you to spy on the people that you're spying for. So he's like a double agent. Well, he finds out like the people that he's spying for like created his wife, like the virtual wife. So it's not really her talking. But like that's all he has of her.
this sounds so familiar. This wasn't a movie?
No, it was a podcast.
It does sound familiar.
Wait, it was a podcast where they had a role-playing episode, or what do you mean?
It was like an acted out podcast. Like there was actors and music and stuff, but you could only listen to it on a.
That sounds interesting. Going back to what Dean was saying about the AI of Facebook. So let me read you this article here from The Independent. It says Facebook abandoned an experiment after 2 AI programs appear to be chatting to each other in a strange language only they understood. The 2 chatbots came to create their own changes to English that made it easier for them to work, but which remained mysterious to the humans that supposedly look after them. The bizarre discussions came as Facebook challenged its chatbots to try and negotiate with each other over a trade, attempting to swap hats, balls, and books, each of which were assigned a certain value, but they quickly broke down as the robots appeared to chant at each other in a language that they each understood, but which appears mostly incomprehensible to humans. So the parameters were that the robots had been giving instructions on how to work out and negotiate between themselves and improve their bartering as they went along. But they were told not to use comprehensible English, allowing them to create their own shorthand. So the chat is between a robot called Bob, or I guess an AI called Bob, and an AI called Alice. And this is after they had developed their own shorthand. So Bob says, I can, I, everything else. And then Alice says, balls have 0 to me, 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 to me. And it kind of just goes on like that. And these robots understand what each robot is saying, but the developers have no idea what they're saying. And they ended up shutting down the program. This article says it was more just because they needed robots that could chat with people, not robots that could chat with robots. And other people just think it's like just really crazy that in a matter of moments they had developed it. And so
that's Ultron.
The podcast is called Life After. It's 10 parts. Season 1 is another one called The Message, and that has to do with aliens. It's by the same people.
So what's the podcast called? Life After?
Life After or The Message.
Wait, well, how do you watch it though? I guess
you don't watch
You
it.
listen
No.
to
I mean,
it.
how do you download it? Like, is Life After the story about the girl, or what's the podcast called? Like, this is Creeps or Us, but you watched it on Collecting Weekly Podcast Feed.
I don't know. It's just episode 2. Or
let me show me your screen because it'll say on the thing. Like, go to the episode thing and scroll up, and it'll say what the podcast is called.
Life After The Message.
It's called the GE Podcast Theater. So Life After / The Mist.
Oh, GE Podcast Theater. I don't see that anywhere else.
Yo, guys,
It's
Bef-
fucking wild. I recommend listening to it.
I'm gonna check that out. Probably pee my
It's
pants.
a wild ride, dude.
Yeah. Before we end the stream, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you do if, like, just put yourself in just imagine this. You guys are both married. Zach, we know you're married. Dean, you're married. You married the love of your life. And you have a 2-story house.
We got married?
Yeah, you got married. No, not me.
Me and you said the love of my life.
Okay, we're married. We have a beautiful 2-story home.
Okay.
It's only you two, or in Dean's case, us two, who live there. And I'm upstairs, and Dean, you're in the living room putting together your toys. Zach, you also. And then you hear, honey, can you come upstairs? And then you're like, yeah, sure. So you go upstairs, you're making your way upstairs, and then you hear, honey, don't go up there. I heard it too.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's so scary to me.
I actually just saw a
Dude, that sounded scary.
A little skit like that. This this dad is tucking his daughter into bed, and she's like, "Hey, Daddy, can you check under my bed for monsters?" And he's like, "Sure, honey." Like,
oh.
And then he looks under the bed, and his daughter's under there. And she's like, "There's someone on my bed." Yeah.
I think
like,
that's
what the fuck.
That's Sam Raimi's brother, also.
God damn, the motherfucker does everything or what?
Let me see. Yeah.
Manny, you gonna get that ED 209?
I don't know.
No one calls him ED 209.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend $100+ when I could put that towards a full figure, you know?
Yeah, but you could have a full Ed 209 with some glue. Dude, someone find the clip of me getting freaked out. My headphones picked up, like, I guess, I don't know. They picked up something from the computer, but it was super loud when Manny was telling the story, and it fucking scared. I thought someone was in the room. Dude, it scared the shit out of me. My God.
What was the timestamp, do you know?
I don't know. It was when
when I was telling my story?
Yeah. God, dude, that legit fucking freaked me out. I want to see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, Manny, it's a good show. I'm surprised.
Yeah,
you thought it was only going to be a short one, but
I was gonna say I hate those stories that are like that, where it's like a mother like frantically texting her daughter, like, look out the window. Is someone standing there? Okay, like.
Sorry.
Dear God.
What was that? So Dean, the film you're thinking of is called Terror Under 3 Minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the one I saw was like a cartoon.
Oh yeah, this is Ted Rami. So he's like,
I know that actor.
Yeah, that's Sam Raimi's brother.
It's already 2 jump cuts.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, 2-word horror stories or something like that.
Ooh.
I think it might be a Netflix thing.
This podcast gives me the chills.
It's supposed to.
Did I ever talk to y'all about the lady in black that we used to see?
No.
So there's this lady. I haven't seen her in years, thank God.
She in black?
Yeah, she used to wear a black trench coat, and she used to walk. She was like the skinniest person I've ever seen. She would always smoke, and she would have her blonde hair and a black hat. And she would always just walk around like the neighborhood, like. And then one day, we saw her. She jumped over a car, dude. Like, not even over exaggerating. She like literally, like, the car was coming, and she literally went like that. And then I think we were getting out of a restaurant, and she was smoking, I got all badass. And like every time we saw her, my mom would be like, don't look at her, like she's crazy. So she was smoking her cigarette and she passed this car with their windows down. I guess they were waiting for food. And they had a baby in the back. And she just, dude, swear to God, she got her cigarette and threw it in the back seat with the baby. The mom got out, dude, and was like, what the hell's your problem? That's my baby. And she just started laughing, dude. It was creepy. Every time we saw her, she was like
Dear
laughing.
God, and where was this?
This was on Hildebrand and
Dude,
Lakewood Road.
look at how scared I got, dude. My God, man, he was telling his story, and I heard that noise in my headphones.
Can you make your screen bigger?
Holy shit, dude! You
Dude,
really,
I thought someone fucking broke it or something.
dude,
Zach, make
you
your
dude, you
make your
fucking
screen bigger.
ripped.
Well, I got my kid and my wife sleeping in the room, dude. I gotta protect them if I need to.
Like, can you physically make your screen bigger? Oh, okay.
Oh,
I think you
don't
missed
know.
it.
Damn it. Yeah, hang on. Let me solo screen myself.
There you go.
Dude, I got so fucking scared. Oh
I
my
almost
God.
broke your neck.
Dude, my loves of my life in the other room. Dude, plus we were talking about some creepy ass shit, dude. My God. Oh man. Fuck, dude. That was a good episode. We have like 11 people watching right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
For 1:30 in the morning.
I've never had
Mhm.
creepy encounters with like a pedestrian, let's say.
Mhm.
But I have noticed one time there was this dude who would always catch the bus. And he always wore a yellow shirt and he was I don't know what was wrong with him. Maybe he had some kind of form of cerebral palsy, but he walked really funny. Like with a really ugly limp. And dude, for
Dude, the
real,
chat it says you need to see a
broke-
chiropractor after turning that fast.
broke your
Look,
neck.
guys, I have certain dad instincts that when they happen, like you gotta just fucking if it's go time, it's
yeah,
go
dude.
time. You gotta protect your family.
Get your 1911, man. You should have it with you at all
hell yeah.
times.
Oh God, dude. And then Bradley says that's hilarious. For instance, Zach's gonna have nightmares tonight.
Yeah.
Ah,
And he was such a obvious person to see
yeah,
Mhm.
that you would just know when you saw him. Like, oh, there we called him Tweety because he always wore a yellow shirt. It's
yeah.
like Tweety Bird. That's what we nicknamed him. Because we would see him all over town. Like he would just like catch the bus and it's like, oh, Tweety's over here today. Well, I remember one day we like saw him in like not simultaneous, obviously, because that would mean we were there simultaneously, but in two different places that logically did not make any sense. Like, how in the fuck did he get over here? There's no possible way. We just saw him over here. And it's not like there's two of these dudes walking around. Like, they would both have to, like, suffer from the same disability and be wearing the same fucking shit. Like it just like didn't make any sense. It was fucking weird. Hug on the Baby Yoda tonight, Danny.
Oh man.
Yeah, like besides that lady in black, I don't think I have experience because I used to work at HEB, like in the store, so you see a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
I've definitely seen some weird shit at HEB.
Dude, so I wasn't working that day, but an old lady, she tripped over a pallet inside SA5.
Oof.
She hit her head on one of the end caps and passed away in the store.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Death by pallet? That's
Dude, and one of my managers at the time, his name's Cliff. He's like, dude, I saw everything, and I'm like, oh my god.
We had an elderly gentleman that shopped at our store, and he was in there every day, dude. Because like a lot of elderly people are lonely, and sometimes they'll just go to the grocery store to talk to people.
To flirt with the girls.
Yeah, he was a friendly guy. It's not like he was like a nuisance or anything, just like a normal dude who would just come in there. Well, he got surgery, some kind of surgery, and the doctors were like, dude, like, you need to stay home because you need to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to fucking come into the store and talk to people. And I want to say is when he was leaving the store, his stitches ruptured,
Ugh.
and he fucking bled out and died in the parking lot. And when
Oh
I
my
got to
God.
work, yeah, dude, when I got to work, they had like roped off like the area where his car was, and there was just like a big fucking stain of blood, dude. And I was like, "What the fuck happened over here?" Like,
God damn.
right? I don't know what it is, just like a big stain. Like they tried to clean it up as best they could, but I mean, you got to power wash that shit. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
And I had missed it by like minutes, dude, of like them like taking everybody, towing the car and taking him out of there. And so like I clock in and my manager is just like catatonic because she was like basically the one holding him until he died. And I was
My
like, that's
goodness.
fucking awful. I was like so glad that I missed that shit because that's like traumatizing as hell. Like I don't even know if she ever got over that.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Maybe next time we don't talk about people that died in people that we know as arms. My God.
Fucking
I know,
wild
just
times.
what a way to end the show.
Wild times
I
at
know.
HEB, man. Toy hunting by day, ghost hunting by night. Yeah.
I do have a quick way to end
Can we
the
bring this to a lighter note? My God.
yeah, we got to end
This
the
is
pod
CREEPSRUS,
in a
man.
very exciting eat your heart out,
Oh,
boys.
God. You guys are so... Oh my
That's the way my hair looks right now.
God.
My
My
God.
lord.
It's a lot of cleavage.
It's like, is it considered cleavage if it's a dude?
It's cleavage with the K.
It's cleavage with a dick.
Oh, man. My God.
Where is that person? We should
That is
reach
a
out
horrifying episode of CREEPSRUS. Jesus Christ.
to them. That's real life, man.
Wow, dude, this podcast went a lot longer than I
No, I
thought.
was gonna tell you my mom had a run-in with a
A bruja.
like a man in black.
Really?
What? Okay, now you got to tell the
Yeah.
story. You can't
Ooh,
leave.
and
It's
you made me
not
look over
what
my
you
shoulder.
think, but not a men in black, but it was a guy. Okay, so like I said earlier in the show, my mom's mom died when she was real little. She was like 14, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like in and out of the hospital a lot, and the doctors had like given her like, I don't know, a few weeks or something like that. And she said she was walking out of the hospital with her dad, and this dude stops them, just like a dude in black. And this is what, the early or the late 60s, I guess.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And or no, I guess it would have been early 70s. She was born in 59, so she was like 13 or 14. Yeah, like the early 70s. And he was like, "Hey, the doctors are 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 telling you the wrong day. Like she's gonna live longer than what they're telling you." And they're like, "How do you know?" He's like, "I like, don't worry about it." And he was like, "She's actually gonna live like this long, and like this like is like the day she's gonna pass away."
Oh my God.
And he fought like she was like, he got it right. She was like, "We never had no idea who he was or like where he came from, but he like fucking called it." I was like, "That's fucking creepy." You just fucking walk out of the hospital and it's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'll tell you exactly when it's gonna happen." It's like, that's fucking
Jesus.
wild, dude.
That's
So
scary.
was it like a long time, more than 2 weeks, or?
Yeah, I think it was like another like 3 months or something. I'll double check that story with my mom, but it's fucking wild.
That is wild. My God.
That's scary. This is a scary podcast. Ooh,
It's supposed to be creepy.
it's very creepy. We should put a disclaimer with like creepy music.
Trigger warning: people die.
Ooh.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah, if there's nothing else that you guys want to get off your chest.
I'm good.
I got a couple more stories, but we could save them for.
We'll save them. All right. Well, I do appreciate you guys joining me for episode 2. Episode 3 is coming soon. And
Brujas.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Dean has some Brujas stories, man. Don't you,
Dude,
Dean?
we talked about a lot of Brujas stories on the first episode. That's a good episode, dude. And we got legitimately.
Yeah, for those that are new to
haunted.
Creeps, episode 1 is not on YouTube. We didn't record it, but it is audio on the feed.
Dude, that fucking episode was wild.
dude, when I think of a bruja, I think of Drag Me to Hell, Mrs. Ganoush. That's scary.
I haven't seen it. Wait, is that the one with Megan Fox?
No, that's Jennifer's Body.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
No, this Drag Me to Hell, basically, long story short, is a gypsy woman. She walks into the bank because she's going to lose her house. So at the same time, the bank teller is trying to get a promotion. So like they're telling her, you need to like stop giving out these loans. So the gypsy woman, she's like, please help me. I'm going to lose my house. And the lady just looks at her boss and he's like, you know what you need to do? And she's like, I can't help you. And she's like, please, I beg you. And she's like, no. Well, she ends up like grabbing her clothes and like she falls to the floor and she's like, someone get her out of here. And she just like looks up at her and she has like a blind eye and she's like, you shamed me. And basically like all this weird stuff starts happening. Like her boss like is standing in front of her and like she ends up getting like a nosebleed and like the blood is just it's a Sam Raimi movie, so it's like pretty over the top. And what do you call it? So finally that girl ends her shift and she's going home. Well, like she gets in her car and she sees the old lady's like handkerchief like flying. And she's a really creepy looking lady. And she just like looks in behind and she's sitting right behind her in the car and she's like, you shamed me. And like the whole like movie, she basically puts a curse on her by like she does like witchcraft.
Dude, fucking gypsies, dude.
Dude, and there's a scene real quick. There's a scene where she like starts like choking her, and the chick's like in her car, so she turns her car on, starts driving, and she's gonna slam into this like this parked car. And typical Sam Raimi, he likes to like focus on things while cutting the music out, if that makes any sense. So it'll be like her like trying to get her seatbelt on, but there's like no, it's like very suspenseful. It's like and like it zooms in on her hand and she puts her seatbelt on and right when she puts it on, her car slams into the other car. And that old lady flies from the back seat to the front, slams her head on the damn dash and her teeth pop out. Dude, it's scary.
God damn. It's like you described that scene from Hereditary.
Oh,
I still haven't watched that movie. Fuck that, dude.
Oh no.
Zach, have you seen that movie?
No.
That movie is
literally everyone I know who have seen that movie is like, do not watch that movie either alone at night in the dark. Like
Dude.
basically watch it outside in the daytime.
Dude,
it's
so
like a public park.
I dragged poor Marissa out to the Alamo Draft House, like because I knew about this movie. I hadn't seen like anything. I didn't know anything about it, so I was like, "Let's go." And she's like, "What's it about?" I'm like, "I don't know." We need to go see it. Maybe 45 minutes into the film, something happens where I won't spoil it. Something happens where literally you could just feel it in the theater. Everybody was like, everybody was quiet. It was probably the most uncomfortable I've ever been in a movie, ever.
And this is Hereditary?
Hereditary.
Jeez.
That's like bruja, like serious, like scary.
Yeah, I can't watch that movie. Again, I don't really like horror. My favorite horror movie of all time is Shaun of the Dead, so that should really tell you.
I like that one.
Like, I just don't like horror.
This is that old lady from Drag Me to Hell.
Dear God. You were talking about gypsies. Have you seen the movie Thinner?
Thinner,
yeah. Ew.
Manny, you got to watch The Taking of Deborah Logan on Tubi. That movie's fucking creepy.
I think I've seen that one.
It's a exorcism movie.
Dude, the closest I'll get to exorcism movies is fucking Constantine. Although I have seen The Exorcist, and that movie's fucking crazy. You know what else I refuse to watch? Oh, is this the scene?
Yeah, real quick. Y'all can talk and just watch it if you want.
Amityville Horror?
Oh, yeah.
Because that shit's true. That's a true fucking story. Fuck that. Oh, I know that actress. She's really pretty.
So, if,
I'm just like riveted. Hey, I know that parking garage is North Star Mall.
right? Uh-huh.
Is that really North Star Mall?
No.
No. So
Dear
she
God.
she sees her in her back seat.
Oh man, she's like old as shit.
Yeah, Dean, if you want to like say what you're seeing.
Yeah, so it's like this creepy old lady. Oh God. She's
trying to put a curse on one of her like items that she owns. She gets a stapler.
right. I'd be like, bitch. Oh gosh, she stapled her eye closed. She's disarmed her from the stable. She's trying to pull her out. Oh fuck. I didn't even see her start the car. Okay, she reversed into a van. It's a shit van,
so this lady is
elbow
creepy.
her.
So like typical Sam Raimi, he likes to zoom in.
Okay,
you know?
she's trying to put the car in drive. Covered half my phone. Okay, put it in drive, hit the gas. She's now peeling out. The fucking dumb witch bitch is not paying attention at all.
So focuses on the seatbelt.
She's seconds away from a collision. Does her seatbelt. Boom. The stable comes undone.
Look at the teeth.
Oh, fuck.
And then look right here. Oh, my teeth, my teeth. Oh, you bitch. And then look.
Oh, God. Ew.
Dude. And then you know how like when a body gets embalmed, it's like green fluid. Anyways,
I don't know that. But...
Okay, well, it's green fluid to preserve the body.
Formaldehyde is not green.
Okay, well, in film, it's green.
Or maybe embalming fluid is different. I don't know.
Okay, so in this movie, she's like, her life is like in shambles. She's like, I'm cursed. What am I going to do? So she goes to a lady's house, pulls up her application, and she goes in, and they're having like this weird like party or something. Like there's a lot of people in her house. So she's like, hey, I'm looking for Mrs. Ganoush. And they're like, she passed away. And she's like, I'm stuck with this curse. So she goes to the body. They're having the funeral. And then somehow the table breaks and the body flies out and it falls on top of her and all that green stuff falls in her mouth. It's a good movie. It's scary.
That's definitely a movie magic thing.
Dude, we gotta watch a movie together.
I think embalming fluid like solidifies. That's why like bodies don't rot.
Yeah.
That's
all right, guys. Well, this has been a fun show.
Hey, we're not done, man.
Hold on, let me show you one more thing.
Well, you said like twice that word.
I know, it's fun.
Yeah, and then one thing leads to another. And...
Real quick, and then I'll let y'all go. So, Dean, I want you to say what you're seeing again.
God, what is this?
I like your commentary.
Is this Hereditary?
No, it's the same movie.
Okay. She's getting a Boost Mobile step-up plan. Okay, super pretty girl is talking to kind of pretty girl.
To the character who...
She's like, let me in the house, please. I don't really feel like I should. I'm kind of a bitch. You could tell by my eye makeup, but whatever. Come on in. Thanks.
Thanks.
Ow. These two girls are now... Oh, that one is just watching her drink a beer. She's like, where is everybody? She's like, just fucking walk over there, dumb bitch. It's your ears. So she's walking uncertain of.
Oh, extremely uncertain.
Oh shit! This movie fucking just came out of nowhere.
Well, like,
Okay,
don't
so
push
now,
me. What
now
the
here's a
hell?
bunch of water gypsies
They're just having a party.
fucking playing violin. That's the most gypsy thing I've ever seen. Okay, here's
Antoine from Deuce Bigelow.
yeah, that's
Oh,
any
there's
villain John Travolta's ever played isn't here. Oh yeah, okay, the fucking
a gypsy woman.
the gypsy bitch that lost her teeth is now
Oh
dead.
shit! There's her.
Oh god, there's
There's
her
her.
corpse. Ew, she's
Oh,
oh yeah, that's definitely not a thing. Oh, legit, I almost throw up, dude. That was fucking rank. This is not a thing.
Fernando says Zach is trying really hard to hide his fear over there. I'm trying to read the plot or to read about Heredity. I have no idea what the movie's even about.
Hereditary.
Or yeah, Hereditary.
Some
Dude.
decapitated girl kills people. I don't know.
the grandma is basically a cult leader, like a demonic, terrifying.
In Hereditary.
Excuse me. Yeah, the first 45, the first 44 minutes are okay. 45-minute on, terrifying.
Really?
Danny Lee just threw up in his mouth.
That old lady's about to throw up in your mouth.
Dude, Craig said Dean needs to narrate a whole movie he hasn't seen yet. We need to watch a movie together to
Dude,
and just talk it
I
out.
had Manny and Stitches. I was narrating Halloween.
Oh my god. Because
It's campy.
She's looking at Michael. This is Michael. She turns away. She turns back and he's gone.
She's looking at Michael Myers. The camera cuts to her.
That's right.
And then it cuts back to the yard and Michael Myers is gone. It's like she would have seen him just leave. like for the audience, it's scary, but it's like, well, if you put yourself in her shoes, she was watching him the whole time. Like, it's just so silly, but it's like, you know.
Maybe the next Creeps R Us, we'll have a movie playing in the back, and we'll have people start the film, like, start it now, and then we'll watch it together. We can listen to it.
That'd be hilarious, because
that's another show, though. That's Rogue 16.
Well, this is Creep 17. But it's not. I mean, I've seen it on different podcasts. It's not something that they exclusively came up with, you know.
Yeah, because I could definitely make a scary movie not scary by fucking dogging on it with
pretty
live
good at
commentary. But I could probably also get actual terrified. Because I heard Hereditary is just like one of those movies like that fucking shit.
So
I know more than like 4 people that have said it's like the scariest thing they've ever seen.
So I think the next time we get on Creeps, we're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch Hereditary, and Dean's gonna commentate, and I'll commentate as well. And Zach, if you want to join,
I'll have to buy the movie.
Hereditary. I heard it's fucking terrible.
You can log into my Voodoo.
We'll have to watch it with like a headphone in, so we don't get copyright.
Yeah, I'll lend you guys my Voodoo. I think it's on there.
No, I'll buy it. I heard it's a really good one. So,
all right, guys. Well, that was episode 2 again for the 15 millionth time trying to end it.
Not bad.
Yeah, guys.
Nice little bit of 3 hours of streaming tonight.
Yeah.
You got another 4 hours tomorrow with Dungeons and Dragons episode.
Yeah, dude.
All right, guys. Well, I'll let y'all go, and we'll see y'all next time.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.